Hello and welcome back to day 35 of Journey to 3000. Just gonna play one game today. Hopefully make it nice and instructive. D4. C4, hoping for E6. We did not get it. Gonna play Knight C3. And we're gonna Fianchetto, typical King's Indian setup. This setup I know of, but it's weird. Definitely gonna castle. So I need a queen here. What's his plan? Well, so I'm gonna start with knight there apparently. You know, I'm not following my opening plan, which is annoying. Generally speaking, I want to move e4, knight here, so I don't know why I've deviated. I need to start these videos a little less distracted. But the game isn't lost by any means. Thinking about e4 and queen here. It's gonna take this knight. But I think we're doing okay. I might ask, why am I putting myself into a pin? And that's a great question that I don't have a great answer to. So he's supporting one of the pawn pushes. I guess he's gonna play here. I'm gonna play bishop e3, queen d2, and takes. I think I generally don't like playing knight f3, so I'm sad that that got played on my part. But playing queen d2, hinting at this move. Now we're more than hinting at that move. Let's just get the bishops off. I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason that I shouldn't do this, but it feels good. Isn't this his main piece? Or a very important piece at least. I'm not sure about the function of my bishop compared to his, although maybe I should have prevented an easy b5. But I'm definitely going to take that. My problem with my queen being here is that I no longer have a good square for my knight immediately available. I wonder if I can trap his bishop. If I like go knight here. It seems like a horrible move to go knight here. But I'm just looking to trap his bishop basically. And giving myself enough tempo to reroute. It's kind of a weird place for my knight to be right here, but I don't know. We're covering some squares. Okay, I feel like his bishop might be trapped here. But I might be about to find out. Even here, his bishop will still be trapped, right? No, it won't be. Maybe I should play this first. Right, because pawn here, pawn takes, knight's getting hit. And then this is no longer a threat. So I think we should start with d5. Knight's coming in here, but we don't have to worry about our bishop anymore, and his bishop's gone. So, although maybe that's part of his strategy now that the bishop's gone, just close this up. But his bishop would still be effective there anyway. So he has problems with his bishop. Seems like he's missing these problems. No, he's not. Square has been reopened up, to be sure. So let's just go ahead and protect that. Now the question is, do I want to trade off a knight? I think the answer is probably Well, the answer is definitely I don't know. But I'm gonna err on the side of no for now. Doesn't quite have any sacks because my bishop's covering everything. Looking to play h3 here. I wonder if there's any way I can like trick him into to losing his bishop. He'll just poke his knight, maybe provoke his knight going back to a bad square. Although now his bishop has this square, but not after I play f3. Just trying to hit the knight. Not sure what the idea of queen there is, but I want the knight to come back here. Okay, he's making a very awkward corner move just to keep a square for his bishop, which is fine by me. Let's develop our knight again to a hopefully favorable square. And I think our position's relatively solid now. Do I have to play h3 here? I'm guessing yes. King h2, f4 is currently the plan, and I feel like our position is good. All right. Now what do I want to play here? He wants to get his knight into here. So let's just play one move to prevent that and then maintain our pawn quite easily right there, and then play f4 next move. This diagonal is covered by our queen. Don't see too many threats with this. And this seems to crack open the position in a favorable way for us. At least that's my assumption. But maybe if takes, we're definitely taking with the pawn there. But maybe we're getting a little too frisky with our king. So maybe queen takes, but what's the point of queen takes? Do I really want to do pawn takes? I can't shove d4. Pawn takes, shove d4. Let's go for it. This is gonna be a position in the game where it prefers a piece take, I'm sure. But you know, his focus is gonna be preventing d4. The thing is, we can always, well, no, we can't, because he can just take with this knight. But we got a square for a knight. If our knight can jump in here, I think we win. Good square's covered. Is he really gonna have an attack with like knight here? I think our pieces are doing good jobs. It just seems like a blunder, doesn't it? What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something here. This queen is pinned, I admit. But you still have a problem with your position, don't you? Isn't this still a little bit... Like if I, for example, go here, followed by queen check, followed by de5. I feel like he's moderately unhappy here. Surely. Surely he is. About to threaten this and takes. I don't know what you do against that. The position has been broken open, but let's not underestimate this. Our king is definitely a little vulnerable here. We have sacrificed all of our pawns for a version of initiative. But he has to deal with this threat. Anything like rook takes, we can still take here. And we're forking his king and queen. And I can't even sack it because it's also check. And then again, moving the knight. If he like moves the knight here, We're winning the bishop. So the position's good. The position is booming. And I think we're doing just fine here. But we are down in time and the game's not over yet. We're going to be up a full piece. No, just a piece for a pawn. The pawn move is probably maybe inaccurate, but it's hard to tell. I definitely think this plan for him is inaccurate, but he's definitely getting something off of it. He's getting counterplay chances with an attack, although I think his attack's always hard to start, especially losing the bishop, but he's got a knight and a queen in the vicinity, so maybe... The problem is I'm having this pawn here. Like, this pawn is getting maintained on the 7th, so it's hard for him to get rid of, and it's always going to be threatening to promote if he can't get rid of it right away. So I'm sure there's something working for me. Like, if I was in black shoes, I'd be very unhappy. Not to say I can't throw the game, of course. Maybe he's looking for something creative here, but I'm not seeing anything. I think knight h here is his best move. Maybe he wants something more defensive, but I don't even know what that would be. He literally only has this move in my eyes. Right? So I don't see any reason not to play this right away, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, and here... It's nice and easy to take the bishop. Let's take with a rook. Threatening here. I'm like, maybe knight here, rook here. Definitely rook here now. Trading off more pieces. This is covered by my knight. So maybe knight here. The problem is we're maintaining this forever, so he's got no play, pretty much. So bishop here, knight here, and I think we win. Maintain the bishop, knight here, and I don't see how he prevents me promoting. He's got no checks. His queen's pretty limited. Anytime he moves his queen, I promote with check. He's got to look for some... Okay, and he resigned. So that was a solid game. Even though we didn't play the way I intended, seems I didn't feel like he was playing critical moves. He just let me get his bishop. Which, okay, maybe he responded well to that. I'm not sure how the computer will feel about knight. Maybe it likes it. All right, let me just go to the game review, analysis. And switch the screen successfully. Okay, we have passed the test. I'm happy. I'm happy about that. All right, we were pretty much just winning the whole game, except for this little blip, which it actually hates our, hates our trade-off move. I'll have to look at that, but let's just do the so this is all book, yeah, except for, yeah, I'm not supposed to play knight here, which I think I mentioned. I want to play e4, knight here, and then I have more natural developing moves. Bishop here, let me see, I'm guessing takes, bishop takes h6, and then some play in the center. Oh yeah, I just let him get b5 in. That's what he's preparing with a6, and he gets good play after that, I'm sure. It wants e5 here. It wants me to just push this, which I didn't see. No, it doesn't want e5 here. What am I doing? It wants h3. Queen takes f3. Oh, okay, that's not even when a6 was played. Now it wants knight h4. Again, okay, this is a different way to trap the bishop. Now he can't kick her knight because the battery's covering both the push squares. So how does he protect his bishop? It does temporarily prevent b5 if he plays here. We just go b3. But he'd probably play e5 there, I'm guessing. d5. So very similar to what happened in the game. It's just a better way to maintain the knight. I'm confused though as to why it doesn't want me to trade off the bishop, but maybe it's because in this position the bishop's clogged up. But I would still want to trade off the bishop. I'm not sure I'm entirely understanding that. I think that's something I have to look into. I always just assume that getting a Ciancetta bishop off, but it's no Benoni, it's the King's Indian. It's not a Banco either. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Anyway. I always feel like it's a big win, but it's just never solid, or it's never as big as a win as I want it to be, or even a win in this case. Yep. So we develop our pieces pretty straightforwardly, and then once I feel comfortable enough, maybe I don't have to play h3 here, but if I go f4 right away, I was worried about knight here. When it just wants f4 right away, and it doesn't care about knight here because of Queen a7, which is it just does not seem like a sane move to me. But obviously it is. Rook c7, he's threatening here. I'm like, okay. No, he's not. I can take that. Now we kick the knight. Rook fc8. Is this really how I want to play? Like, I don't know. It seems weird to play. I just prepared f4 with h3 first. Now it doesn't like f4. It wants a5. It wants me to close this off. That makes sense to me. I should be preventing playing the queen side, because when I play f4, that's where I'm going to be exposed to counterplay. I suspect the reason I have the advantage right now is because this piece is really, especially these rooks, are not in position to activate against the counterplay once I open up the center. And it didn't like the pawn takes, which I suspected was the case. This one's queen takes f4. You know, I'm looking at this very one-dimensionally as a backwards pawn, but all of my pieces are supporting it, and is there really any way he's going to prevent e5 here? I don't think so, and maybe I walked into whatever he was planning here, although I don't think his tactical shot works at all for exactly the reasons that's shown in the game. Once I get d5 in. So his idea is that my queen is pinned to his queen, so I can't take back with the pawn. But yeah, this idea just wins anyway. He has to go here, and then d5. It's just an unstoppable threat. I'm sure his best move is to just ignore it. No way, come on. B takes a4. Queen takes f6. Okay. So I'm just up a clean pawn here, but he's still got the rooks on, so he's got the rooks on and better activity and better pawns, but I got an extra knight, so this does seem more defensive because a lot of pawns are coming off, and if he can get like a rook knight versus a rook or something like that and trade off more pawns, then he's got good defensive chances, which is probably why my score is not very high despite being up a whole piece. Which is interesting. It's a very creative defensive idea. Or just, that's really, you have to know the direction you want to take the game. These are like the hardest moves, especially after you blunder. It's to find like, okay, this is the best shot for a draw. But yeah, a lot of pawns have been exchanged. I only have 3 pawns left, which are really my win condition. Because am I really going to win a rook and knight versus rook in like 3 minutes? His king's more active than my king. And he's got a passer, so he's got a lot of play here. Probably a good way to stay alive. But yeah, after this he's just losing, and there's no way to really comfortably address the pawn. this is always just coming in, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. All right, that was day 35. Another win. Working our way back from the tilt. But who knows? We can always tilt again, or just get unlucky. But today was a good day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.